move. Monday morning, got me GB cup. They did give it me. You can borrow them from the green room, but they did give me this at Christmas. Going to do an interview now on GB News about mental health and the poor state of it in agriculture. So maybe touch on a little bit about how it's been like this for a long time, but it's obviously things are getting worse at the moment with politics, really. I know we can't control the weather, but some things you can control, and they've become uncontrollable at the moment. So go and log on and do that. That's that done. I'll put it at the end of today's video, but that was one of the pictures from the combine run, and I was going to hold that up, but I managed to do it so that I could have it, or a picture very similar, in the background of the interview, which was pretty cool. But you'll see that at the end anyway. These ducks have just been in this puddle. They'll be fishing it now. Don't they have fish eggs on their feet? We're just looking at this wheat, how it's coming up slowly because it's not raining. See? Look at this field of beans. And it's like a bare patch here, but if you look, can you see that? There's rooks. Just like picked an area and just dug them out and eaten them. There's just like little patches like this all over the field, see? They had the beak in looking for it and then eating it. Desperate for a drink. Water there, but we just not got it on the field. 3 or 4 weeks ago, we couldn't move on this field. As you can see by the ruts, and look at it now. Baked solid. This is coming on well, it's nearly knee high. Plenty of tillers. A little bit of mustard still growing though, that's obviously shed and now growing back. Got a helicopter coming over as well. Thought you'd have felt the draft, but I didn't. This field here looks awful, but when you zoom in, it is all there. It's just you can't see it for the phacelia and the cover crop that's not fell over. So this wet patch that goes all the way along here. Apparently there might be an old water trough down there, others had one, so we're going to dig down with a digger probably tomorrow, find it, and see if we can stop all this wet headland. Bit of fly tipping. Bit of shoes and a helmet. I bet that's the guy that tipped it, the helmet. This field of wheat has got a drain washed in it, and we were going to patch the drains up. But of course the wheat's so lush now, we can't find it. So you found it? There's a wet patch over there, so we're going to dig down, find the drain, patch it up, and then put a Y connection on it. It could be there, but I feel like there's a bigger hole as well. There's definitely one there. The ground. Looks good though, doesn't it? It's there, but that's the main one. It's a proper sinkhole, that. Andrew's standing next to it for scale. It's that way as well. Yeah, if we dig down to that, find it, then drain that way, and a bit that way. This barley is getting ready to shoot, but places it's got patches of meadowgrass in it, see? So we're going to see with that horse hoe whether we can rip it out. End of the week when it arrives on demo. Bit of brome in it as well, actually. Yeah, big patch of brome there. Well, it's not big compared to the size of the field, to be fair, but so that's an optical camera that can steer down the rows. John's out on the sprayer tidying up some grassland. I'm just going to put the rollers on that fence and go and roll. Oh, no spraying this shed now, I'm going to have the door open. go and roll where Andrew, we're ripping up some wheat that's not very good. I'm going to put a little bit of oats in. So he's ripping it up because it's like baked, absolutely solid. It's quite wet in the winter, so the structure's completely gone. The wheat's been really slow and it's obviously not had a drink, so that's made it worse. So we're forcing it, some structure into it with the quad, and then I'm going to roll it now just to trap any moisture in that we might have, so that when we drill it with oats, probably tomorrow, we've got a chance of growing. So I'm just going to go and stick the rollers on this. Now, I've not put the pipes in because I didn't want to get my hands dirty and get it on the steering wheel. I couldn't find a pair of gloves, so I'm going to plug them in, pull up to the house, plug them in, then wash my hands, and then we'll shoot up to the field, see how he's getting on, and roll it in. That is the state. I put saw figure on it now, but that was the state in the hands. Believe it or not, there's a QUADRAC in there. It's like we're in Australia. So we're going to try and cap what moisture is in. We can, and then we'll put some oats in and see what happens. It's very late, but it was so patchy in places. It was all right sort of along the headland and a bit there and a bit there, but it was so scattered. The rest of it though behind us is all right. It's a bit hard to see. It's a bit grassy in places, but yeah, this was just terrible, to be honest. Right, here's the QUADRAC now. It's going over ground that's just been done, but when he gets here, it's solid. Let's see if it changes engine note. I think he did gear down though, but doing a great job of underbusting. And by the time I've rolled this, keep that moisture in, and we should have some nice soil that they can root in. But it's just capped. It had a cover crop on, and in places it was quite thick. I mean, you can see the stubble there, but in some places where it was a bit patchy and a bit slug bare, it's just not really grown very well at all. It's just like they're graceful somehow on tracks, isn't it? You don't really see them moving. Gonna bust that puddle up. That's the second time it's going down one as well. I'm in the way. Better move. Andrew's just finished and he's just off down the road now. It's that green field behind it. That's Bill and Joe's wheat that they drilled, and they weren't sure whether to keep it or not because they thought it was going to be terrible, but as it happens it looks amazing now. It's pulled through winter underneath a cover crop. It goes quite quick down the road, doesn't it? It's flying. This is the back of Brookhouse. The wheat's coming up steady. This was all rutted. So we've Andrew's just levelled this on his way home. It's been, I don't know, rutted for about 3 years. It's been that wet this corner that we've not been able to do anything with it. So he's roughed it up now, levelled it off, underbusted it, and then I'm just rolling it, keep the moisture in, and then we'll put a bit of sunflowers, just something a bit pretty, as well as a third patch. This week we will be mostly moving glasses from A to B. We're unloading the glasses at Brookhouse. Someone has written to me here, don't live here, moaning about how the blog's rubbish, talking about the wheat strike, saying he knows more, saying me and Wardy are bleeding poverty and should publish our accounts. Well, I mean, we can do if you want to, but I mean, don't watch and don't take the time to write to me. sprayed this gravel off last week, didn't I? And if you look, it's dying nicely, but I've missed... Where's it gone? I've missed that green chunk there. Load of sawdust just arrived. Well, it's more like wood chip really. I think they grade it afterwards. It's lovely stuff. Just walking out the trailer now. And we'll load it up with the other stuff. My mum's going to do the birthday bumper.
Happy birthday, Andrew Rollinson, 59. Nicky Turner. George Spriggs is 1. Kevin McCormack is 42. Jensen Corty.
Country, I think. I don't know.
Country.
I don't know. Might spell it wrong.
Whatever, his spell is no good. Rich Hooley. Kevin Teagle. And the total now is 89,432.
Is that your telephone voice?
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, everyone on there and anyone else whose birthday is. That is about all for today anyway. So if you made it this far, click like would be amazing. Thank you. And I said before, I'd put the GB news piece about mental health on the end. So today's quiz question, how are you feeling today? Answer as a percent. Stick it below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.
Now, at 11 minutes past 7, farmers are in the grips of a growing health crisis.
North Yorkshire is home to over 6,000 farms, but the community says they are becoming increasingly isolated. 95% say their mental health has deteriorated. Our reporter Anna Riley with more.
Forgotten in the fields. Farmers in North Yorkshire are facing a growing health crisis. That's according to Health Watch. The rurality of the region makes healthcare access hard. This, combined with the demands of running a farm and stigma surrounding mental health, means farmers here aren't getting the support they need.
Living in a rural area, you're obviously a fair way from a hospital, you know, you're 20 miles from a hospital, same with the doctors as well. And if you ring a doctor up now, you can't just get access that day. You know, you've got to book an appointment, it could be 4 or 5 days. And mental health issues, unlike cancer and a broken leg, you know, where you're seen fairly quickly, are not seen as priority. So people go away at home and they sit and they worry or they drink or they do whatever they're going to do until it gets probably too bad. But if you are struggling, you know, it's seen as a weakness, so you just don't go.
Labour's changes to agricultural property relief is an added financial pressure. This family farm now face paying £300,000 in inheritance tax.
My father never says a great deal, but I know it's preying on his mind, you know, so now we were sort of hoping that after the budget there might have been some concessions coming. It doesn't look like there's going to be. So now we have to get something quickly sorted out to get it turned over and hope he lives 7 years. He's 84. Now he may well do. But, you know, when you get to 84, then every day you wake up is a bonus. And, you know, I'm not just saying it's me, there's a lot of my friends in the same situation. What we call the clawback would be a sensible solution where you don't pay tax when you're passing it from one generation to another until that generation wants to sell it. And then that's when you'd pay the tax, because you would have the cash.
The government is supporting farming communities by investing billions of pounds in the NHS. It also says it's backing British produce, reforming planning rules on farms to support food production and making the supply chain work more fairly. But for now, Health Watch is calling for improved care for those that keep the nation nourished. Anna Riley, GB News.
Well, that was Andrew's story, just one of many stories. Olly Harrison has a story as well. Olly is a farmer, and you're in Liverpool this morning, Olly. Very good to talk to you, Olly. How are you today? And, you know, I know you've got friends who've been affected by this, and Andrew was trying to describe what it's like in getting doctor's appointments and how lonely it can be and how being isolated is a problem as well. What would you like to add to all of that, Olly?
Well, firstly, you asked how I was. Now, your initial reaction for how you're feeling would be, yeah, you know, fine. And that's probably the biggest lie in the world. So actually, I'll answer you as a percentage. So I would say I'm probably 90% today. You know, it's looks like it's going to be a nice day. We're on top of workload. Wish it was going to rain a bit more, so I'm not 100%. But this is the problem. You know, people don't actually say how they're feeling. So I had a friend, he took his life 9 years ago this May, and I couldn't understand why he'd done it. So I learned a lot about it through another friend that was a psychotherapist, I suppose is the best way to describe it. And a lot of it is people just don't share their problems, you know, and even if if the person you share them with doesn't solve it, it can make it feel better. So we actually drove a combine. You can probably see it behind me from John O'Groats to Land's End to raise awareness, to get people just to talk.
Because the suicide rate, and I'm so sorry to hear about your friend, Olly, because the suicide rate in farming and agriculture, the whole sector, is truly shocking, isn't it? I think it's something like 3 suicides a week in the industry. Can you paint a picture for us about how it has got to this state?
Why?
What are farmers dealing with, whether they want to take their own lives?
Yeah, I mean, there's several things, but obviously they work on their own a lot, so sometimes won't see a lot of people. But they have access to means because, you know, locations or whatever, and whether it's, well, in fact, we won't even go into that, but they have an access to means. They're very used to dealing with life and death. But the main thing is everything we do is uncontrollable. You know, we can control our output price, we can't control the weather, and they are the 2 biggest factors that affect farm income each year. The levels of investment in agriculture are just massive, and everything's just out of sync. You know, we had that war in Ukraine, we've had hyperinflation, but the prices haven't kept up. And the risk of, it's not just losing a business, you'd actually lose a home. So all that added together is a terrible mix.
Olly, I'm listening to you there, and, you know, I'm a massive fan and supporter of farmers. I was an agricultural reporter for 2 years, and I understand the life. And if you said to me, Eamon, would you become a farmer tomorrow? There's part of me would say, oh, that sounds good, outdoors, you know, animals, really nice. No way would I touch it, would I go near it. And because of the pressures that you're describing there as well, just part of it. But they're not going to go away, and the industry's not going to get better, I would suggest. So aren't you in the wrong business?
Well, you could say that, and, you know, I do question myself. I mean, especially in the last 6 months since the budget is what it's all for. I mean, you know, they say no one owns a farm, you just look after it for the next generation. And that looks like that's going to be taken away from us now. So you just think, well, what's the purpose? Do we just pack up and do something else? But, you know, which we all can do. But it isn't very good for food security, is it? And I know that shouldn't be our problem, but I don't know, you feel like it is somehow.
You feel a responsibility with that. Olly, I'd love to talk to you more. I can only say to you that you and Andrew, who we heard there, we empathise with you, we sympathise with you. There's a lot of love throughout the land, I think, now for farmers. Whether there is amongst politicians is another thing, because I just don't believe they understand what you do and how important you are to real life. But thank you for talking to us, and keep well, my friend. Keep well.
Thank you. And next time someone asks you how you are, tell them how you are as a percentage.
Okay. Yeah. Good man. Good man.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
How are we?
How are we?
And Olly makes that point. How are you? It's Monday. I think I get into Monday and I start going through the week, and I'm actually looking forward to the week because the weather's going to be good. The weather's going to be good. So hopefully I'll give myself a couple of hours in the afternoon to be outside, maybe do some paperwork outside.
Yeah, get some vitamin D, that would be good.
Something that would help.
But a percentage is quite a good way of thinking about it, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it is a very good way.
So thanks for
that tip. And I do empathise and sympathise with people who work in the agricultural industry, farmers, farmers' wives, farmers' children, everybody involved in it. And we're thinking of you, and something has got to be done to help you guys and make that a career that people want to be involved in and feel valued.
Because it's vitally important, isn't it? It's our food, the food on our table.
Yeah.
If you've suffered from any of the issues that we've discussed this morning, a reminder that Samaritans are here day or night, 365 days a year. You can call them for free on 116 123, or you can email them joe@samaritans.org, or you can visit samaritans.org to find your nearest branch.